priestess, motivational dominatrix. It's your favorite pirate captain. It's your favorite goddess king. It's your favorite auntie, uncle, LadySpeech, in the place to be. And do you know what time it is? Well, it's new moon in Virgo. So it's time for your new moon divination. That's right. It's time for your new moon divination. So that's exactly what I want to welcome you to. Happy new moon, my loves. Happy new moon, my loves. Happy, happy, happy new moon, my loves. This is a time of manifestation. This is a time where we make our greatest wishes. This is a time when the veil is a little bit thinner during this moon cycle. This new moon is a powerful time to manifest, to reimagine. So let's do that. Gather round, sugar honey dumplings. Gather round. I've got a good one for you today. And you know what? I'm not even going to say you're not going to get spanked. All I'm going to say is I'll make it good. And I do believe in aftercare. So let's get down with this spiritual get down. First and foremost, how are you? Good evening, lovely people. Good morning. Hello, hello, Amber. Hello, hello, Dawn. Happy new moon. Happy new moon. Now, I already see my OGs doing what they got to do in the comments. And if you are an OG, you know what to do. Leave me that butterfly. Leave me that purple heart or that blue heart. Now, if this is your first time, if you're not true to this yet, if you're still new to this, then go ahead and put a caterpillar in the comments. Go ahead and leave me a yellow or green heart in the comments. So many members, so many sugar honey dumplings, so many returning people. It's so good to see all you lovely folks. Hello, hello, hello. Happy new moon. Happy new moon. Go ahead and get your comfort items, baby. Go ahead and grab your tea. If you are here, you are right on time. If you are here, then somewhere in this video, there is a message for you. Now, my OGs already know how this goes, but let me break it down for the newbies in the building. This is a divination. This is a little bit different from my Sunday divinations, my Sunday service. If you are familiar with this channel, then you know every Sunday at a certain time I gets down. I give you some spiritual counsel to help move you through your week. Now, I usually do affirmations, introduce you to my rock friends, all kind of good stuff. Then we get to those cards and let the spiritual spanking begin for our highest good. These new moon, these cosmic, these full moon readings work a little bit different. Tonight, we don't have the affirmation box, but what we do have is our divination tools, and we have our rock friends. So let me introduce you to the rock friends first and foremost. We have some lepidolite. You're going to see some more and hear some more about lepidolite. One of you lovelies gave me the idea last Sunday to start back to doing Crystal of the Week. I used to do that on my old Instagram. I haven't done it on my YouTube. So you're going to be hearing about a lot of my rock friends in the upcoming series, Crystal of the Week. So we've got some orange calcite in the building. This has been so instrumental in do some healing in my grief work. And this is fluorite, and it favors the purple. Although this has the green, it has the white, but it is more so made up of the purple. I love fluorite. I love it all, baby. I love it all. And we've got green adventurine gauges in the ears. All right. Now, y'all know I like to take you on a tour of crowns. This is one of my newest babies. And one of you bought this for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This crown of branches. This crown of thorns, if you will. I love it. I adore it. I was obsessed with crowns. I was into crowns before I cut my hair, but honey, something about being bald-headed. Something about this sexy milk dud head of mine that makes me want to put a crown on it, baby. So I want to thank you to whoever bought me this. I appreciate you. So this is where I ask you to go get your drink. I'm about to spill the spiritual tea under this Virgo new moon. Go and get your drink. Go and get your notepads. Get whatever it is that you need to get. Your comfort items, honey, because it might get rough for a few of you. It might get rough for a few of us. It might get rough for a few of us. It might get rough for a few of us. I want to remind you that over here at the Sankofa House of Freedom and Liberation and Ascension, we believe in tithing if this message hits you in a place. Also, we believe in reciprocity and reparations. So that Cash App is LadySpeech, that Venmo LadySpeech Sankofa, that PayPal LadySpeech Sankofa at gmail.com. I appreciate the $1, the $10, the $20, the $33, however much you choose to hook up in appreciation for my labor. I appreciate you right now. I appreciate you. All right, you good people. Are you feeling ready? Because I'm feeling ready to give you this good message. I'm feeling ready to give you this good message. So many OGs in the building. We've got a newbie in the building. I love it. We got a newbie in the building, and you are a member. Okay, I heard that. You saw something, you liked it. You were like, no, let me just, even though I'm new here, I know I am connected. Well, hello to all of you. Hello to you, Rosie. Hello to you, Dragon Dancer. Nicole, what's up with you, baby? Alyssa, hello. Alex, hello. Tamika, hello. I love all of you. Gray, hello. Rachel, hello. I love all of you. All right, good people. Let's get this party started. It is the new moon, and you know I like to... Oh, did I introduce you to the cards? I didn't introduce you to the system. Let me introduce you to the system, and then we're going to get down, baby. First and foremost, we're going to use the Lumania, the Luna Somnia deck. I always butcher this at first. This is the Luna Somnia deck, all right? So we are going to be utilizing this today. We are also going to be utilizing the Ancestors and Angels deck today, that Oracle deck system. We're going to be using the Moonology Oracle deck system. You know I love using this in conjunction with the full moons and the new moons. We're also going to be using the Seasons of the Witch Oracle deck, the Samhain edition, okay? And we're also going to be using Oracle Pogs, the Oracle Pogs divination system. If you are a child of the 80s, child of the 90s, child of the early 2000s, you might remember this bottle cap game. It was a game, and it was a hit and a craze. A lot of people had it. It was a collection, all kind of stuff. It was intense. It got intense, baby. Well, my friend Moon Pumpkin, a beautiful, powerful witch, she took that concept and made it into a divination system. So you can go to moonpumpkin.com to order yours, okay? And there's special editions. There's all kinds of stuff, all right? And it's Oracle Pogs, Poggz. And I want you to know that I'm going to list all of these, including the Oracle Pogs, in the description when I post this video. Now, if you're here in the beginning of this video, you're right on time. If you got here in the middle, you're right on time. If you're here in the end, you're right on time. If you're watching this live, you're right on time, baby. If you're watching this recorded, you know what you are. Right the hell on time. You're right the hell on time. I want to thank you for that super chat. Thank you, Alex, for that super chat. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, good people. Now that I have done all that, let us begin. We are starting out strong, and that's exactly what the universe wants to remind you of. The universe wants to remind you of your strength, okay? Now, there are some of you who are stepping into that. There are some of you, and I'm on that side of the spectrum, baby. There are some of you who are finally understanding how powerful you are. You're starting to get it. You're starting to believe in yourself. You're starting to understand that you are the one that your ancestors have been waiting for. You're starting to believe your talent. You're starting to believe your strength. You're starting to believe that you can handle everything Spirit brings to you with the support of your spiritual team and with the support of your support system. There's some of you who believe. There's some of you who are starting to look at all the things you've survived and you're starting to bet on you. Because a lot of things have come to mess with you, to end you, to take you off your game, to take you off this planet. And you know what? You're still here. Not only are you still here, but you're growing. You're fighting. And you're understanding how strong you have to be who you are. You need to keep standing in that. You need to keep walking in that way. You need to keep understanding that you are strong. Now, on the flip side of this, there's some of you who do not believe. There are some of you who have forgotten who you are, and this is a reminder from Spirit to remember who you are, baby. To remember who you are. To remember who you are. You need to go into that mirror and you need to remind yourself that you are strong, that you are beautiful. You need to remind yourself that strength does not mean you don't experience times of weakness. You do not real strong people don't demonize themselves for times they have been weak, because they understand that it is in those times of weakness oftentimes is where you develop strength. Do you know what strength training is? When you go to the gym and you engage in strength training, you are always going to feel weak when you do it. You are always going to exploit your weakness. You're going to hone in on your weakness. And by doing this, you become strong. You see the evidence of strength training in your endurance, in your stamina. When you are outside of the gym and all of a sudden you can hold a lot more. You're a lot stronger. You can last a lot longer. Do not demonize yourself for times when you have felt weak. And even now, if you feel weak, it doesn't mean you are not strong. It means you are having a moment of weakness. And weakness is a part of this experience. Weakness is a part of building strength. So if you're in that space of believing, of knowing, of understanding, if you're coming out of that dark space of not understanding how strong, how magnificent you are, baby, keep going. Excuse me. And if you are in that space where you are feeling weak, if you are in that space where you are feeling like you can't go on, you can't hang on, please, honey, you got it. You got something inside of you that you need to tap into. Tap into it with all your might, with the assistance of your ancestors. Tap into it, okay? Let me address these comments real quick. I want to say hello, Angela. Hello, honey bee. And I want to say thank you so much, Ray the Tray, for that super chat, baby. Thank y'all for your super chats. Thank you for your super chats. Vamp Kitten said, definitely glad I looked at my phone at the right time. My anxiety has been all over the place and you just brighten my day. Well, it is a pleasure, baby. If I can help bring a little bit of sunshine into your life, that's goodness as far as I am concerned. All right? All right. Let's keep going. Hello. Okay. Hello, darling. Hello. We've got the star. Part of the major arcana. We are still in the Luna Somnia deck, and this is about inspiration. This is about stepping into your purpose and your path. This is about having faith in yourself, having faith in your path, having faith in your purpose. Now, some of you have lost faith in yourself. Some of you have lost faith in your purpose and your path. Some of you have lost faith in your intuition, and that's okay. If you are in that position, just admit it, baby. Admit it and then attend to it. Admit it and then attend to it. Where did you lose faith? What caused you to lose faith? It sounds like something needs to be healed. It sounds like you need to put a little healing on your heart space, on your spirit space. All right, do you not believe anymore? Do you not believe in yourself? Are you having a hard time with your faith in spirit and your faith in God? Do you not believe in your talents? Do you not believe in your intellect? Do you not believe in your strength and your capacity to get things done? Do you not believe your intellect? Do you not believe your intuition? Do you not believe? It's time to address that, baby. It's time to address that. It's time to address that so that you can see what is in front of you and make the right decisions and move in the right direction. It is time to trust your path and your purpose. Now, for those of you, some of you are locked in. You are locked into your path and your purpose. You understand who you are. You understand what it is you came to do. You are inspired. You are listening to your ancestors. You are listening to your muses. You are listening to your instincts and your intuition. And you need to stay in this space. You need to trust. You need to lean in even more to this space because it's going to bring you nothing but goodness. It's going to bring you nothing but goodness. It's going to push you in the right direction. But if you're not feeling faithful, if you're not feeling it, honey, it's time to look and examine that. It's time to heal it. It's time to address it because that right there, that lack of faith in yourself, that lack of faith in your talents, that lack of faith in your path, your purpose, your intuition is going to get you in trouble. As in, you will deny yourself of your dreams, your goals, of your desires, baby. It's time. It's time. It's time. All right, good people. Let me check in with these comments. comments. Let me check in with these comments, baby. CDC said, finally made a live chat and you are fabulous, truly. Thank you, thank you, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. Dawn said, dang, I just got slapped. A good reminder that I needed to come back to my heart and my purpose. That's right, baby. Alex said, the first time I'm catching you live and I'm already in tears. I appreciate you, honey. Let's go. Let's keep it pushing. It's important to remember that you got this. It's important to remember that you got this, okay? Let me remind you that the world is indeed falling all the way down. It is your responsibility to attend to your healing and to build a better and new world. And you're only going to do this, you're only going to participate in building a better and a new world by following your dreams, your goals, your heart, your true purpose, and your true path, because that's what's needed for the new world to be built. It needs your authenticity. It needs you standing in your genuineness. It needs you standing in your purpose and walking your path. Let's get into these Oracle Pog decks. If you feel in this reading, can I get an amen in the comments? If it is working for you, if it's connecting with you, let me get a hallelujah, baby. I also want you to know that you might hear some background noise. Number one, I do not live alone, a reminder. And number two, I do have my window open, so you might hear some children playing in the background. They are doing their thing. They're doing their thug thizzle, and I actually happen to enjoy the play, the sound of children playing. All right, let's keep going. We're going to get into the Oracle Pogs. Divination system, blades. It's going to be really important to find your center, to find your grounding, to find your balance, because things are going to get fast, okay? Things are going to start moving fast, all right? It's also important to stay on track, okay? It's going to be very, very important to identify your goals, identify your physical goals. What do you want, need physically, emotionally, mentally? Look at where you are health-wise. What are your goals? Look at where you are financially. What are your goals? Look at where you're at spiritually. What are your goals for the next 6 months, for the next year, for the next 2 years, for the next 5 years? Where you want to be, where you're trying to go, okay? It's important to get on track, stay on track, okay? Now, when we think about roller blades, go back to the 90s, shout out. You have to have your balance on there. You have to have your balance. But once you get your balance, once you get your technique down, you will hit them corners smoothly. You will hit them corners and you get to going quite fast, all right? So things are going to speed up. It's important to keep your center, to keep your balance, okay? It's important to keep your direction, to keep control of yourself, your body, so that you can move everything at its optimal speed and in the optimal ways to get you where you need to go. We have mix it, okay? Mix it. Not everybody's way to success, everybody's formula for success is going to be different. I love it. I love a good, relevant self-help book. I love a guru, a guide, a teacher that really imparts information to you that helps enhance your life. But I'm going to tell you this, everybody's spiritual walk is different. Everybody's ascension walk is different, okay? Your recipe for success, your recipe for elevation is going to be different than other people. That is because you have different mental health, emotional health, spiritual, physical health needs, okay? You are in a different place when it comes to your trauma. All of us have experienced trauma in different ways. We interpret, we process our trauma and our pain in different ways. This is about looking at the things in your life and mixing it and customizing it, all right? From your relationships to the way that you approach life, it's okay. We're all coming into this different, and we can all get similar and sometimes the same results, but we come to those things in different ways and with different recipes, and that's okay. This pog is also a reminder to look at your life, take inventory. Is there something that needs to be extracted? As we are identifying goals, as we are identifying things that, our dreams, things that we're working towards, sometimes we have a formulation that's working for us, and it works for us for several years, it works for us for a while, for a few weeks, but then it stops working. This is a reminder that it is okay to go back to the drawing board. It is a-okay to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate your formulations, even in magic. Even in magic, baby. I've been doing magic for a very long time. And the formulations that I came up with in the beginning of my magic journey in regards to spiritual baths or formulations for love work or lust work or anger work, those formulations have shifted over the years as my technique has improved and changed, as I have gotten a hold of more information, as I've learned more. So it's okay to look at aspects of your life and extract things that need to be extracted and to add things that need to be added, okay? But it is all a custom job, baby. Life is a custom job. Don't be afraid to treat it that way. Life is a custom job. Capitalism, colonialism will have you out here thinking that we're all the same. We got to do it one way. And indigeneity reminds us that there are 1,000 different ways to skin a cat, as my southern grandmothers would say. All right, y'all, that's that on that. How we feeling? Let me know in the comments. Is this resonating with you? Is this dinging some bells? Let me know how you're going to do some applying of some of this knowledge I'm dropping down for you and on you. I'll remind you that the Cash App is LadySpeech. The Venmo is LadySpeech Sankofa, and my PayPal is LadySpeechSankofa@gmail.com. I want to welcome Vamp Kitten 90 to the Sugar Honey Dumpling fold. Thank you so much for joining us. And this is a reminder that we are an official community here on this YouTube channel page. So if you go to my personal page here on YouTube, you will see options to join. Now, some of you can do it from your phone. Some of you can only do it from your computers. But if you go to my page, there will be some options to join. Okay? All right, good folks. I see Rosie in the place and they taking their notes. Yes, yes, honey. We got some more to come, so let's go. Let's keep going. Next up, we're going to be utilizing the Angels and Ancestors deck, okay? I am going to be once again listing these in the comments for those of you who would like to get a hold of these decks. You know what? Let me know in the comments if any of you have bought any of the decks that I have mentioned. Any of the decks that I've used, have you guys went out and bought any of these or found any of these, and how do you like them? I know a couple of you did say that you bought, at least one of you said that you have the African Goddess Rising deck. So let me know. And also please know that I'm bringing back tarot reviews, okay? So a little bit later on in the year, we're going to be going back to some tarot reviews as well, all right? So lots of magical content here on this page. Let's check in with the comments. Yes, Don said, amen. I'm on board to find a new approach and a new direction. Yes, yes. Vamp Kitten said, thank you. You've definitely been helping me step into my spiritual path and myself. I am happy to be here for you, baby. Honeybee said, feeling good, confirming information. All right. And Wern is in the house. Yes, with a butterfly. We got T-Holt said, absolutely adore my African Goddess Rising deck. Yes, I am happy you love it. Lady Small said, I bought the African Goddess Rising deck this week so I can have better understanding of the sacred figures. I love that deck. It is a lush deck. I love the artwork in that deck. It's just beautiful. And then these are based on some of them real historical figures that we have, become saints, quote unquote, in our religions and our spaces. And some of these are based off of, spiritual figures that are real. So within the African traditional religion. So love it. I love that deck so much. All right, let's move into the Angels and Ancestors deck. Okay. We've got the High Priestess. Get into it. We've had this card in, I believe it was either the last cosmic reading that I did for you guys or one of the most recent Sunday service readings. And this is really a reiteration of getting into your magic, harnessing your mystic power. If you ain't practicing, this is your sign to practice. Get deeper into your spirituality. Times is rough right now. And what is going to help you survive what is to come, because it's not about to get easy for a while. What's going to help you survive this is a deep connection to your intuition and listening to your spirit guides and spiritual team. This is the divine on everything. Consult your spiritual team about everything. Pray about everything. Meditate about everything. Trust your gut and your intuition on everything. Harness the mystic power. This is the High Priestess card. The High Priestess is the one. The High Priestess is the one. The High Priestess is the one. We have patriarchal religion set up as it is because the first spiritual spaces, it was oftentimes the High Priestess who was at the helm. And that was not because the High Priestess, that divine feminine energy, was better than the divine masculine energies, the divine other gender energies. No, no, no. The divine feminine simply held the space of womb, of first life, of first teacher. That's it. And it was an acknowledgement that everyone else and every position was important. The high priestess card is reminded to step to the front of your spiritual practice. Quit acting like you are an innocent bystander with your magic. Use your magic practically. You think I just pull cards for fun? Let me know. My practice is a practice, hun. Do you think all I do is pull cards? No, I'm knee deep in these herbs. I don't just tell y'all to pray, and I don't do the same. Every Monday, every Wednesday, every Friday, there is ritual going down in this house. Every Sunday, every day, there is some type of communion with spirit going on with me. Stepping to the front of your spirituality, you use it in everyday life. That magic goes into my cooking. It goes into my prayer. It goes into my bathing. It goes into my cleaning. Every aspect of me is touched, and magic is utilized in that. Get to the front of your spiritual practice, okay? Be the one who is leading in your life, and utilize your magic for every other aspect of your life. From your finances to your love life. A lot of times our manifestation don't work because we half-ass it. We treat it like a lot of people treat mainstream religion. When your practice becomes a part of your life, your manifestations become a part of your practice, and it's easier to draw these things to you. A lot of times shamans, magicians, healers, we get things, we can manifest things quickly simply because we're in the practice of it. We're in the practice of it. The more you're in the practice of it, the more it's going to just be muscle memory and easier to come by. Step into your power. It's time to go deeper. Read the books. Practice. And part of practicing and harness your power is getting with your mentors. Personally, and I have mentors that I know personally that I practice with and talk to personally. I have mentors that I don't know personally, that more like public mentors. They are mentors to the public and many different people. It's about studying up under and with your mentors. It is about researching and studying, but then also spending time in the doing. It's spending time in the meditating of it and just integrating it, okay? But it's time to harness that magical power, baby. You sitting on a lot. And it's time for you to begin to utilize it. Let's talk about commitment, though. We have the Sage card. Be devoted and be committed. A sage, they are dedicated. There is a Bible verse. Seek first the kingdom and all things will be added to you. It is literally about being devoted and committed and dedicated. You know what? Spirituality it's not a fad. Real spirituality is not a fad. If you're coming into this mysticism, if you're coming into the occult, if you're coming into your spirituality, it requires devotion because you have to start from the bottom. You can't come into magic. There's this thing that's happening on Twitter. I'm going to address it here on my page in a video coming up soon, but I'm going to also address it on TikTok. But I'm seeing a lot of folks in TikTok talking about how they had to leave the occult because a lot of strange things started happening to them, crazy spirits. And that's because they didn't approach this world with respect and they didn't start from the bottom. A lot of y'all trying to get into your past and into your faiths, and you ain't starting with the basic knowledge and the basic information, learning the basic rights, the basic cleansing, the basic protection. A lot of y'all are being taken up with nasty spirits and are losing your damn mind in these things because you ain't building a foundation up under you. When you are dedicated to your path, your purpose, when you're dedicated to your faith and your spirituality, you're going to take your time and grow it. You're going to study it. You're going to be with it. You're going to commune with it. You're going to really work to integrate and provide a solid foundation. All right. And also, you're going to understand this is a lifetime walk. So you don't need to rush yourself anywhere and on any part of your purpose or your path. You need to be dedicated to walking your purpose and your path. And know that sometimes you got to crawl before you walk. Okay? You gotta crawl before you walk. You gotta learn them basics. You gotta have a good foundation up under you. When you are committed to this as lifelong work, you are going to deal in your practice. You're going to deal in your faith as a lifestyle. It's going to be easy to incorporate it from big things to small things in your everyday life. Be devoted. Be committed. Be devoted and committed to your healing. It is a lifestyle. It is a journey, not a destination. Be devoted and committed to your spirituality, your spiritual practice. It is a lifestyle. It is a journey, not a destination. You ain't working for the afterlife. This is why I enjoy indigenous spirituality and the beauty of it. And indigenous spirituality breeds the best people because it ain't about earning a space in the afterlife. It's about being a good person here and now. I am on the road. A lot of y'all understand, and I've been clear about that. I am on the road to become a mambo, which is I'm walking my road to be a high priestess in voodoo. And I am also called to be a high priestess in other African traditional religions. One of the key components of voodoo is taking care of the earth and taking in serving my community, serving my four-legged, my three-legged, my winged, the fish brother and sister, and also serving my human brothers and sisters. It is about being devoted and committed at a level that is soul deep, okay? And it takes a lot of study, intense prayers, commitment in not only faith but in finances, building my altar, serving my spirits, making my offerings, being devoted and committed. But I'm going to tell you this, that devotion and commitment to my spirituality, which has been in place for over 20 years, has given me more than I have given it. The thousands of dollars that I've invested in my spirituality, it has given me hundreds of thousands more. All the time that I've invested into it, it has repaid me in repairing my sanity, my body, my finances, my mind, my spirit, and my soul. I can tell you this, there is a return in the now when you practice in the now. When you ain't practicing for I'm not working for heaven. I'm not working and being a good person because I'm scared of hell. I am a good person and I am in my community because it serves my community. And it makes me a better person now. Be devoted and committed, honeys. Be devoted and committed. All right, let me check in with this comments. Let me check you with this comments. All right. Lady Small. Oh, yep, I said that one already. Thank you for reminding me that it's custom. That's right, baby. Flame said, I just met you, but I love you. I love you too, honey. Nicole said, African Goddess Rising deck is my favorite oracle deck. I love it so much. Dane said, I haven't bought any new decks yet, but I did have the African Goddess deck that you use often, which I ended up gifting to my mother. That's wonderful. You are welcome. Stay on track. Keep practicing. Read the books. That's right. A lot of you got the books. Read the books. Read the books, read the books, read the books. Whitley, thank you so much for telling people to hit the like. Yes, if you're feeling it, hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. Gal named Sarah, welcome, honey, said, calling right now and it feels better than trying to fly into closed windows. Exactly. And enjoy the crawling space, hun. I am learning what it is that I'm going to have to do and how I have to serve. Y'all will notice that I haven't been doing any classes. I am going to go back to doing my spiritual classes. So look at biglizconjured.com. In September, I'm going to go back to doing my spiritual classes, offering a few of them on that website. But y'all notice I haven't done any readings. It's been months since I've done readings, personal readings. And that is literally because I'm understanding what I'm going to have to do. I appreciate the times when my spirituality and my practice was simple. And I appreciate those every moment I spent when I was crawling, because you will get to a point when you ain't crawling no more and different things are required of you. I'm thinking about everything Spirit is telling me I'm out to do for myself, my spirits, and the people, and I was like, "Ooh, let me take a couple months off before I get back into the thick of it." So appreciate those times when you crawl. Because when the spirits start asking you to run, they're going to ask you to run 50 miles an hour doing wild tricks and shit. Dragon Dancer said, just getting deep in my practice after having to take a break to recover from COVID. I missed it. Yes, take your breaks, honey. And spirit is always here to welcome you back. See, Holt said, Shay, you gotta have respect and good intentions to practice. Can't just invite any spirit in. That's right. Again, I'm watching so many people being like, I lost my brain, lots of real crazy things because you weren't decolonizing. You probably went too fast, too far in. And also, when you do not take your time with spirituality, we live in a time where, because of exploitation and cultural appropriation, we are bombarded with all of these options. Just because it's being shown to you does not mean it's for you. If you don't learn to have discernment and go slow with spirituality, you will be knee deep in studying a practice you are wasting your time on. There are a lot of different things that intrigue me, and I'm like, oh, that's attractive to me, but when I really work with my spirits and I divine on it, it's not for me, it's not for me. And I'm not going to waste my time doing something that's not ultimately going to benefit me or enhance me. So enjoy those times of building on your practice, okay? Warren said, practice, much like musical mastery, spirituality requires dedicated time, intentional practice, seeing what you can do already and where you can still grow. Amen to that. Don said, so much truth here. I'm ready. Yup. Vamp Kitten said, oof, definitely feel called out. The amount of books I've collected and yet to commit to. Cards and decks too. Yep, it's time to get into it, my loves. It's time to get into it. All right, beautiful people, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We are going to be using the Moonology deck. And first up, we have the new moon card. I think that's appropriate. We are in the new moon. This is your new moon in Virgo, Divination. So again, this is a time of new beginnings. This is the time of wiping the slate clean. This is a time of manifesting. So today, I want you to work on it. Even if you don't write it down with pencil and paper, and I suggest it, write it down. If you've already written goals down, I want you to revisit them. Okay, I want you to spend some time in front of your personal altar. If you don't have an ancestor altar, I suggest you get that built. If you don't have an ancestor altar, at least the altars that I suggest people have in their house is when in the beginning is start with your ancestor altar. Have a self altar. And the purpose of your ancestor altar is to commune and connect with your ancestors. It's a formal place where you can petition them, where you can ask them for help, where you can give them energy, where you can feed into them, and it's also a place where they can feed into you. They don't need the altar to feed into you. You don't need the altar to feed into them, but it's a beneficial place and it's a formal place to do so, okay? Your self altar is where you work on yourself. It's where you work on, it's the visual representation of who you are, where you want to go, what you do, and all that good stuff. On my self altar, myself is represented. So you can have dolls, figurines. I definitely suggest a picture of yourself. If you can get a baby picture or a current picture, do what you got to do. Represent your interests, represent your goals, represent your things, and then you work on yourself. If I'm working on self-love that week, then I light candles about self-love, or I talk to myself. I use that altar to talk to myself. I not only look in the mirror and speak affirmations to myself, but I go to the self altar and talk to myself about what I need to improve. If I know there's a certain aspect of my life I need to improve, then I will light candles about that on the self altar. I will write my good intentions of things that I'm looking to do. I'll put it under my picture. And I make sure every week that water is refreshed on my self altar to represent me always being my cup being full, So have your self altar. Work on your manifestations at your self altar. This is also a good thing when I'm doing new moon work, full moon work. I oftentimes do it at the altar, at my self altar. So I always suggest have people having their ancestor altar, having their self altar, having a protection altar, a dedicated protection altar. That's all about your protection. And a dedicated love altar, because we all need help with love. Now, your love altar is not a romantic love altar. That love altar can include romantic love, and you can do romantic love work at the love altar. But the love altar, honey, because love ain't just about between a man and a woman, a man and a man, a woman and a woman. It's not just romantic. It's family love, spiritual love, the love between you and the animals, the love between you and your spirits, self-love, the love that exists between you and the earth, the love that exists between you and Mother Nature, the love that exists between you and your friends. This is the altar where you cultivate love, okay? So these are the altars that I suggest that you have in your repertoire if you're looking to deepen your spiritual practice. But back to, it's a time of new beginning. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. You better believe that I'm about to sit down tonight. More than likely go out and get myself a glass of wine and go over my dreams, my goals, all right? This has been a wild year for me so far. Bringing it in the way that I did shifted the trajectory of my whole entire life. Lord. I moved to this space and I thought I knew it was going to happen. And then my friend was unalived in a hate crime, and that changed the trajectory of my whole entire life. Lord of mercy. But it's time. It's time to manifest. So use this, and I don't want you to just think about what you not new moons. Definitely think about the next 2 weeks. Think about the next 3 weeks, but think about what you manifesting in your life, love, all of that. Write it down. Review the manifestations you had before, and that's what you're still working on. Keep going for. But this is it's in my Nina Simone voice. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. So yeah, get on it. It's a new start. We're doing new things. Okay. Get in, sugar honey dumplings. We're changing our lives. It's a new dawn. So yeah, that's what it is. We do new things. We try it in a different way. We going after our goals and our dreams a different way. Okay. We've got the new full moon in Gemini. The answers you need are coming. So this full moon in Gemini card is about two things. Being on the lookout, okay? The answers you need are coming. That means you ask some questions in your prayers. You ask some questions about your love life. You ask some questions about new job, if you should move, should you leave your family alone, this new relationship, your children. You about to get some answers. You about to get some answers to some deep questions that you've asked a while ago. But also that means you're going to have to be quiet if you want to hear them answers. You're going to have to be quiet if you want to hear them answers. They say prayer is the act of talking with God, talking with your spiritual team, and meditation is the act of listening to God, listening to your spiritual team. Shut up. Be quiet and listen to the spirit. Spirit is out here in these spiritual trees trying to talk to you. Okay, my spirits have been heavy-handed as of late. I will get done with the prayer. I will get done with the thought. Turn on the computer and like a song will start blasting that answers my question. Like I'll go on TikTok and boom, the first 3 videos are answering my question. I'll fucking run into a child and they'll randomly say some things and I'll be like, how do you even know that about me? I don't even know you. And you're just answering a question that I asked 3 hours ago. So the answers are out there. Listen. This is also about using your words. Your words are spells, so be careful what you're asking for. Be careful of the questions that you ask in. Make sure you're asking the right questions. And be careful how you use your voice. Be careful how you use your words. If you do a lot of complaining, you know what you're going to get? A whole lot of bullshit around you. Like, I definitely am all about speaking to the issues, the problems, and not shying away from that. But there is a way that you can speak about things. Are you perpetuating growth? Are you perpetuating healing? Are you looking for solutions in the way you are presenting things? And know that there are times when we vent. There's times when we vent, when we release. We just need to say the things to release. And those are permissionable times. There's times when we're talking about things so that we can heal from them. But then there's also times when we're just throwing fire on the flames with our words. So, yes, Cash App LadySpeech, Venmo LadySpeech Sankofa, PayPal LadySpeech Sankofa at gmail.com. Always feel free to show financial appreciation for this here labor, baby. Let me get an amen in the comments if you feeling this. Let me get a hallelujah in the comments if you feeling this. Let me check in with the comments. All right. Warren said, what would you recommend do? You have a video about learning who your spiritual team is and how to nurture your relationships with them. I don't know if I have a video about that. I don't think I do. I will create a video about that. But first and foremost, you need to develop a relationship with your ancestors. Now, a lot of you don't have a relationship with your ancestors because you don't know how. I do have 2 videos that are about connecting with your ancestors. They are your first part of your spiritual team. So do not go looking for angels. Don't go looking for anybody else until you look for your damn ancestors first. Now, some of you won't do that because your ancestors aren't great. There's some of you who absolutely understand. I come from a long line of racists and colonizers, and I'm not interested in tapping into them at all, as you should not be. But let me tell you something. You still need to acknowledge who was in your blood. You got to acknowledge the stories that are there. And by acknowledging that, you can also go back and find the good ones, because not everybody in your lineage is horrible. Not everybody and not every one of your people in your lineage is colonizers. So I do have 2 videos about connecting with colonizer ancestors and just connecting with ancestors in general. I will create more videos around that. I think I have spoken about spiritual teams though. Look, if it's here, look in the magic playlist. I have a couple playlists, but the magic playlist is where that would be. And I can't remember exactly, so even if I have done a video, it's not a recent one, so I will make sure that I do that. But before the gates, again, the first line of your spiritual team is your ancestors. They are the ones who are working for your highest good. And when you start working with your ancestors, you are calling for the benevolent ancestors. You're calling for the elevated ancestors. Now, there are some ancestors in your lineage who were despicable and they got to the other side and they did their work and they elevated. There are some who didn't. My mother was not a good mother to me, my biological mother, and now I know why. She was absolutely abused into that by American society and by my father and by my grandmother. She wasn't a good mother at all. She was bad. She abandoned me. She was horrible. She was a crap. F. No, you know what? No, I don't give her F. She got a D- in this piece. It was pretty bad. But I'll say this. She is on my altar right now. And she will cut you if you come for me. She is a huge part of my spiritual team now. And there's been a lot of healing that's been done. And all the healing that has been done started when she died. She elevated. And she continues to elevate. Now, my biological father, who is not a good man, I do not believe that he is going to elevate when he crosses over. I have been consistently given a message by my ancestors to be ready to X him out when he passes away. He will not be elevated. He will not be uplifted on my altar. He is the source of most of my abuse. Not all of it, but a good chunk of it. The most consistent out of all of my abusers. So yeah, he is not an entity I will be working with when he passes away. He is not someone that I will be elevating. He will not get his name called. So yeah, work with your ancestors first. And you're going to work with them because they are you. And they have a personal investment in you because you are an extension of their legacy. But also, your healing is their healing. So out of any of your spiritual team, they're going to be the most fierce about you. Because every step towards breaking generational cycles you make in your lifetime, it works for them. We feel the effects of our ancestors, the trauma, the pain of our ancestors from 12 generations back into now. So the work you do, the pain you go through, if you don't address it, you will pass it 12 generations forward. But also the healing you do and the generational cycles you break, you push that 12 generations forward and you also push 12 generations back. Start with your spiritual team and I will make a video about that. Let me get back into the comments and we're going to continue with the reading in a little bit. We got a lot of amens and hallelujahs. Yes, yes, yes. Illegal, Stoner Mom said, and seeking will introduce you to your spirit, which will expose your guides. Yeah. I also say you need to start with your ancestors first because a lot of them will help you get to the right spirits for you. Baby, let me tell y'all, this is why I say crawl before you walk. There are imposter cosplay spirits out there. Now, I have a whole video that's already recorded that's coming for you soon about this. So get with your ancestors first because then they'll tell you whose spirit you need to be messing with. They'll tell you what spiritual systems you need to be messing with. There's a lot of people who are entering into the occult and this spirituality, and they're going crazy. They're touching down with spirits that they think are one thing but are another, and they're doing these rituals and ceremonies and inviting these things in, and they don't know how to banish them. They don't know how to talk to them. They don't even know who they are. So your spiritual team, your ancestors, they're gonna stop a lot of that at the door. I was waiting for you at the door. They're going to stop a lot of that at the door. There's been times that I've been like, ooh, I think I want to learn about. And the spirit's been like, no, you don't. That is not yours. And I've been like, heard, seen. I'm going to look over here now. And they're like, exactly. That does not belong to you. Game's off. So start with your ancestors first. Develop that strong connection. Ask for their assistance, and then you can start from there, okay? But yeah, let's keep going. I will make that video. Thank you so much, Sarah, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Wern said, thank you. I've been struggling with that. You are very welcome, baby. Sarah said, I understand that I have a lifetime restraining order on my mother. Yeah, sometimes it's just not a good thing. Not all your ancestors are good ancestors, but not all your ancestors are bastards as well. You've got some good people in there. Gals named Sarah said, I have a couple of ancestors that have been with me since the beginning. They're the ones I go to for guidance. A lot of the rest I don't like. Anything I stand for, and you're going to find that. You're going to find that. But the ones who rock with you, you rock with them. And please know this. More than a few ancestors rock with you. As a medium, let me tell you something. I have watched ancestors who are 100 years old step up for people. And I'm going to be very clear about you. I have an ancestor by the name of Harriet and I didn't know about her, but I've always felt her. And sometimes she's let herself be seen and be known by other readers, but she has not given me a name. And it wasn't until she finally gave me a name through the work that my cousin has done. When she gave us the name and showed her, I was like, it's you who've been watching over me. You're a couple generations. You're my grandmother's grandmother. She's my grandmother's grandmother. And she came right out of slavery. And who she was, and I remember in my family, looking at both sides of my family, I'm like, yeah, I kind of see, like, as I'm older, I'm like, I kind of see myself in y'all, but not really. I can see, like, traits. We have traits and things, but I didn't see my reflection. In Portuguese and Brazil, they have this thing called minha cara. That's my face. I can never look at my family and say, that's my face, minha cara. But, like, and it was really about the spirit. But when I learned about Harriet, I was like, oh, that's where I get everything. She's my fire. I didn't know who she was. I didn't know. So I'll say this, like, more ancestors than you know have your back. And you got to remember that your lineage is long. You come from hundreds to thousands of people in some of our cases who was raping and pillaging and having sex and doing all kind of things. And they're responsible for getting us here. So, your benevolent ancestors. And I'm also tell you this, my Scottish ancestors, don't sleep on your ancient ancestors. My Scottish ancestry... and this is for you. This is for the white folks. Let me tell you something. Come here. Them ancestors are mad as hell at you because you only cling to whiteness and you refuse to decolonize and get into who you are and learn the history. My Scottish ancestors have put me on time and time again to some of that ancient magic. You missing out when you don't get into your history, but you can't spiritually bypass in that. If you're going to get to the magic of that, you got to travel through all of the ugly. How did you get removed from those original spaces? It's the story of colonialism. If you want to reclaim your magic, you got to get through some of the ugly. But if you get to it, the level of healing you can bring to yourself and your family is huge. My original Skies ancestors are pissed that they're even in my lineage. They understand why. They understand that they shouldn't be here. They know the story and they're mad because that's not who they are. But they understand that that's what some of their lineage turned out to be. So they're helpful to me now. Now, the people who put themselves in my lineage because of enslavement, who raped their way into my line, I don't mess with them. They don't like me. It brings me great pleasure to heal Black people because they did the opposite to Black people. And it chaps their hide every single time I win. I don't mess with them. But the ones I mess with, I mess with. And the ones I mess with because they mess with me. All right. How long should I be connected with my ancestors before doing ayahuasca? That's gonna be an individual thing, and you gotta ask them if they want to do it, and you gotta ask them, and then you need to ask the plant. As someone who has walked the red road, and who by invitation by some of my Native Indigenous brothers and sisters, please do not take any ayahuasca or plant ceremonies unless they're from the Native Indigenous people and unless you've been invited. Ayahuasca is a closed practice. Peyote is a closed practice. As someone who has been with Grandpa Peyote because I've been invited into ceremony, I was invited by the keeper, the holder of the plant, the person who was ceremonially, ritualistically, and bloodline connected to the plant, who was given permission by the Native Indigenous people because they are Native Indigenous themselves, and this plant is in their bloodline. I have had the best healing with Grandpa Peyote because he called me himself. That is not a part of my lineage. There are mystical plants and ceremony that are. There are things that I am connected to via Africa. There are ceremonies that are equivalent, that I do have birthrights to. So you check with your ancestors, and then your ancestors need to check with the ancestors of that plant. And then you need to sit with that plant. So making sure that you are being invited. If there is someone who that's not a part of their lineage and their culture and they are holding that ceremony, you will not participate. Not in good faith. And not as someone who is going to be in balance with spirit. Okay? So yeah, you're going to, spirit will tell you. Your ancestors will tell you. For some people, they're going to have to be, there's years that they got to ask the question, can I be with ayahuasca? And the answer is going to be no for a long time until it's yes. For some people, it's going to be a couple weeks. But if you do ayahuasca, understand where the plant comes from, where that tribe comes from, and if you're going to take that plant, you better be doing something for that tribe. Okay? If you take that medicine, understand who holds that medicine, where it comes from, and give back to the holders of that medicine. So not just in the money you spend for the trip. That's not enough. Contribute to their livelihood. Contribute to what's going on. Peyote comes from the agave plant, and right now there's things happening with over-harvestization and where a lot of American people are going in and like starting tequila companies and everything in Mexico. There's only one place you can make that, authentic tequila. And also Grandpa Peyote comes from that. So because I was invited, I have chosen to do work around that aspect of things too, to give back, as well as work individually with Native Indigenous communities that are associated with that. So it'll be different for everybody. Custom. Let's see. I would like to learn more about creating different altars in the future. That really resonates with me. Something I need to do or expand on. I will do some videos about altar creation. Any advice about feeling shame, about feeling abused, but still wanting to work with my mom and my parents? Keep working, keep healing. If you were abused by your mom Okay, if you have ancestors that abused you and you want to work with them, you should examine that. I don't work with my abusers. And I don't suggest anybody else work with their abusers either. So no, I wouldn't suggest you do that at all. And I would only do that if they elevated. Let me tell you something. When my mom passed away, I did not work with her for 8 years. And I did my healing work inside of that, but I cussed her smooth out. She was at the brunt of all my anger. It wasn't until she came to me in several divinations and with several people and she was able to prove from the other side that she was doing her work, that I even began to work with her. But she had to jump through hoops. She had to prove her elevation to me. I wasn't going to work with her at all, ever. I thought she was going to be xed out, and I functioned like that. I functioned and I worked with my other ancestors. It wasn't until she showed me from the other side. But my suggestion is, if they abuse you and show no remorse on this side and they pass over, do not work with them. Don't work with your. And I think that's kind of what you were asking. If you weren't, go ahead and clarify. But yeah, don't work with them. And if you do end up working with them, they will make it very clear that they've elevated. But not everybody who crosses over elevates, so that's why I would just say it's a hard no until they can prove that they have elevated, you know? Let me know if that answered your question at all. I have, and then let me go back to that question actually. Anyways, about feeling shame about feeling abused. Okay. You're gonna have to work with that. As someone who has survived all types of abuse, the shame and the dishonor is not on me. The shame and the dishonor is always on the abuser. There is no shame on me, and there is no dishonor against my body, my mind, or my soul from what they all did to me. The shame and the dishonor is on them. And I got to this point by intense work with spiritual healers, guides, through spiritual work, readings, divinations, and with therapists as well. So dealing with that, you're gonna deal with that as a separate issue. Working with that as a separate issue. Working with dealing with your pain. Working with dealing with the shame, and getting to the point where you aren't holding that for being a survivor of abuse. So let me know if I've addressed this question sufficiently for you. I have an ancestor. Molly said, I have an ancestor I can't identify right now. It's so frustrating. Stop tripping. Release your frustration, babe. If you are dealing with your ancestor and they're giving you good energy, stop tripping. Spirit is not going to work always on your time. And a lot of times, the more you get agitated and frustrated, the more that energy will not stay away from you. Harriet, my ancestor, has been with me since forever. She was one of the first ancestors who came to me and manifested, and she did not share her name with me for 20 years. But I have felt that does not change her presence. It did. Me knowing her name allowed me to call the name of the presence that I've always known to be her. But that didn't shift her being in my life more or less. Relax your frustration. And also understand that when you deal with spirit, a lot of times you ask and they're going to work on their timeline. Sometimes it manifests in your timeline quickly. Sometimes it manifests in your timeline in long spurts, but they work on their timeline, okay? They work on their timeline. My Norse ancestors are waiting for me to work backwards to them. I can feel it. Go towards it, my love. As an adoptee, I guess it's more important for me to connect to them. I guess, yeah. And actually, it doesn't matter if you're an adoptee or not. And I want to remind you guys, I think I have addressed this in other videos. I've addressed this in an Ask LadySpeech video. But as adoptees, you need to understand that some of your adoptee, for some of you, you've made a real connection with your families, with your adopted families. And some of those immediate ancestors are your ancestors too. Just because they're adopted doesn't mean they're not your ancestors. My good friend that was murdered this year, that's my sister. And she's on my altar. We aren't of the same family. We're not of the same blood, but we are connected, and she's on my altar. So, number one, you have access to those ancestors. Number two, even if you don't know your ancestors, they know and they identify with you. They know, they identify with you. They are with you. They are connected to you. They're with you. So and even if you don't know them, they know you and they want to be closer to you. I'm sorry, some of my people just came home, so I'm kind of distracted. They're right outside the door. So yeah, so it's going to be important, and please know that even if you don't know their names, they know you. They want to be connected to you. Okay, so just start your practice, and again, the practice it's a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong journey. Sarah said, I feel more connections with my ancient ancestors than the more recent. That's going to be a lot of us. But here's the thing with that. Connect with your ancient ancestors and work with the story of what happened with the recent ancestors. There's a lot of spiritual bypassing that happens for a lot of white people when they do that. You are to connect with the ancient ancestors to a lot of times address what the recent ancestors have done. That you need to connect with that ancient magic to deal with the atrociousness of what the recent ones have done. Okay, so there's no spiritual bypassing. So connect to the benevolent ones to help you address the nasty ones. Again, I have a whole video about dealing with colonizer ancestors. Go back and see that, y'all. Go back and look at that one. Nicole said, had some ancestors let me know they still don't want to belong to my altar, still getting to know them. That's okay. Here's the thing. Your people are your people are your people. So whole voodoo priestess, all of that. There are going to be some Christian ancestors that don't want to be on my altar. When my matrilineal grandmother passes away, I know she's not going to want to be on my voodoo altar at first. She's not going to want to be on my altar, not my voodoo altar, but my ancestor altar because I practice voodoo. I know that. She's a Jehovah's Witness. Do I know she's going to want to be honored by me? Yes. So when I honor her, I'm going to honor her as who she is. The Jehovah's Witness lady. And she's not gonna go on the altar, but there are other ways to honor her. Okay, so that's another thing. The ancestor altar is a good way to connect with a lot of your ancestors, but not all of your ancestors need to go on the altar or want to. But there's other way you connect with them by eating cultural food, by doing things that they used to do, by acknowledging their stories, by learning about them, by learning cultural dances, by keeping familiar traditions alive. Like there's other ways to connect and commune and convene with your ancestors, okay? All right, good people. Molly said, thank you. You are welcome. You are welcome. All right. Sydney said, thank you. It's difficult for me to feel ready for ancestor work because I feel like they'd all look at me through my parents' eyes. It's so important to know that your people see you and your ancestors see who you are. Your parents are going to look at you through their eyes and your ancestors are going to look at you through their own eyes. Okay. And I just want you to know that for your ancestors, your benevolent ancestors that have elevated, you get a different perspective when you get on the other side. So they're not going to view you through the lens of your parents at all. Okay. All right. Couple more questions, and then we're gonna get into the last of this reading. Y'all still doing all right? Let me know. Nicole said, right, all my known ancestors were Christian and colonizers. Yeah. So you look to the ancient ones, but also you called it all of your known. Because how many of y'all's white ancestors got kicked out and X'd out of the family because they were abolitionists? How many some of y'all white folks got ancestors who married folks of color who were abolitionists and they wiped them out of the family history because they didn't like that. Just because they don't speak their names don't mean they can't be connected to you. So again, this importance of calling on the benevolent ancestors, okay? All right, Cash App LadySpeech, Venmo LadySpeech Sankofa, PayPal at LadySpeechSankofa@gmail.com. Let me know if this resonates with you. Keep it going. Hallelujahs, amens in the comments. Let's keep it pushing. We are in the Seasons of the Witch Samhain edition. We have intuition. You hold the answers. You know the truths. Ancient ones await behind the doors of the mind. Get into your intuition. Polish it up. Trust it. So there are some of you, 2 messages. First message for those of us who are in tune to our intuition, who trust our instincts and ourselves. You need to rely on that, okay? That's actually the message for all of you, for all of us. Your intuition, your instinct, trust it, because spirit is going to use that to push you to move you forward. Spirit is going to use that to help to communicate to you, to get you out of situations, to get you into opportunities. Trust your intuition. Fortify your intuition through spirit, through prayer, through ritual, through meditation, through healing. Fortify it. Fortify your connection to it, because that's going to be important for the rest of your life, especially for what we got coming on the next couple of years in regards to people as well. Also, oh no, that's coming up in the next one too, but especially in regards to people, okay? Especially in regards to people, all right? So trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. Now, the second message is for those that are some of you who need to develop your intuition. You need to develop your intuition because it's been eroded through abuse, through negative self-talk, through mental, physical, emotional abuse. Your intuition has been eroded through all the things, and you need to repair it. Some of you need to repair your connection to your intuition. Some of you need to uplift your intuition, okay? And learn about your intuition and develop your intuition and pour into your intuition, all right? You do it. Again, meditation, prayer, healing, those are going to be the ways to help you get that done, all right? Molly, so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Last card of the reading is the 4 of the suit. No, there's no suits in this. And this is the 4 of the Seasons of the Witch Samhain edition. And this is apples. To taste one, must swallow it whole. And beneath the satin flame hides drowning waters. This right here is reminiscent of the old hag who poisoned Sleeping Beauty. This is a reminder that, and this is interesting that we had the intuition card come before this. Not everybody that is smiling in your face means you well. Not everybody smiling in your face means you well. Not everybody smiling in your face means you well. Not everybody smiling in your face means you well. Not everything is as it seems. 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 Use your intuition. Trust your spiritual guides. Not everybody is coming to you with goodness. People are desperate right now. We're in a very interesting place. We're in a very interesting place. We are seeing the ugliness of us. The veils have lifted. Folks is being true to who they are. So those people who are good people, and they're working on it, they're going to shine, and it's evident. But the people who are rotten and evil, they're going to shine too. But there's also a lot of people right now who are shrouding themselves. They're masquerading as friends. You need to, again, trust your intuition in all things. There's going to be people who've been good people this whole time, and they've gone through a tragedy, and it switched them into a different aspect of themselves. So again, this is why that intuition piece, trusting your spirit guides, developing your spirituality. We had that harness the magic card. All of these are important because there's a lot of deception at foot. There's a lot of deception at foot. And please know this. There are a lot of people who are going to show you the worst parts of themselves, not because that's who they are at their heart, but they have gone through something. They have been through things. This last couple of years has broken their sanity, and it has pushed them to the end of themselves. They have no support. A lot of this isn't malicious. There is a good amount of it that is. There are a good amount of people who are coming maliciously, but there's just some people who they're at a desperate moment in life. Know this. Everything that glitters ain't gold up in here. Everything that glitters ain't gold. Use your discretion. Use your discretion. Use your intuition. Trust your gut. Trust your instinct. Do you hear me? Trust your instinct. Do you hear me? All right, good people. Happy new moon to you. Happy new moon to you. Happy new moon. Happy new moon to you. Happy new moon to you. Happy new moon in Virgo. Virgo season, honey. Let us get it together. And I think it's interesting that we started off with the Strength card, and that one clearly has a picture of the lion leaving Leo season, entering into Virgo season, entering into the time where the months become darker, where the veil becomes thinner. I think this is an appropriate reading. If this resonated with you, again, thank you. Always feel free to show your financial appreciation. Cash App, LadySpeech, Venmo, LadySpeech, Sankofa. PayPal, LadySpeech, Sankofa at gmail.com. Thank you to each and every one of you who put up a super chat, a super sticker, a super thank, a super like. And thank you to the new members, the new Sugar Honey Dumpling crew members that joined during this live. I believe there were 2 of you, so I appreciate you and welcome, welcome, welcome. Also, welcome. I want to thank all to the members who showed up the other night, last night, to the coloring and Q&A. We're going to be doing more of that. Let me know in the comments. We're going to do a little poll. I'll do a little poll this week to see if you'll like that. If you like it, we're going to do more than that or more of that. So all that good stuff. Just in case no one has told you today, you matter. You are beautiful. You are divine. And I appreciate you for surviving this last 3 years. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trying. I love you dearly and I adore you so much. You go off and you have the best Saturday. Now, I know this was the the new moon reading. Please know that I'm going to be back tomorrow for your Sunday service. This was the new moon reading. Tomorrow is the Sunday service meeting. We are still in August, so that's going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing all of you guys there. I love you all so much. You are so beautiful. Thank you so much for your support. Mwah! And I will see y'all, God, Goddess, Orisha, Lowa, Universe willing, in the next video.